Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am your teacher, Dr. Khurram Shehzad. Today we are going to talk about discourse and context. So far as the study of pragmatics is concerned, discourse and pragmatics, they go hand in hand. And so far as the term context is concerned, it plays a very important role in pragmatics. Because if we understand the word context and all of its implications, we will be in a position to better communicate with other people and to better understand the kind of discourse which is being communicated to us. So we know that discourse is the use of language in society, in context, how language is being produced. So when we talk about context, there are different things that we should keep in our mind. For example, context can be linguistic, it can be sociocultural, it can be situational, and it can be even religious context. Moreover, we can say that context is cognitive as well. Now, first of all, we need to understand that what is meant by linguistic context. You know that when we interact with the people, we speak sentences, and you must have read somewhere in your previous studies that explain this stanza with reference to the context, where we see that from what place this particular stanza is taken, what kind of language was used before that particular stanza or before that particular extract, and what kind of language is used after that extract. So linguistic context, it means that we are going to look at the language which is coming before that extract or before that stanza, and the language which is coming after that extract or after that stanza. So in linguistic context, we are looking at different kinds of parts of speech, that how they are used, the kinds of nouns, the pronouns, okay, and the adjectives, the adverbs, because they all play a very important role in clarifying linguistic context. You must have read, or maybe in later on you will be reading, that discourse grammar, where we further talk about that how pronouns, they are giving reference to the other nouns which are there in the text. For example, there is anaphoric reference, there is cataphoric reference, there is exophoric reference, and then there are words like things like repetitions, like ellipsis, and synonymy, antonymy, meronymy, hyponymy. All these things make up the linguistic context, because here specifically we are looking at words which are there on a piece of paper, words which are there before that particular sentence or before that stanza or before that extract, words and sentences which are there after that stanza, after that extract. So in linguistic context, we particularly pay attention to the language which is produced by the speaker, language which is written by the author. So linguistic context is the language which is coming before that particular sentence, or before. This means the people who are around you, the physical, social context, okay, because we always speak the language within the context, within the situation. For example, this is the classroom where teacher and students, they have come together. They are there to talk about a particular subject. They are there to talk about a particular topic. For example, my job as a teacher today is to explain the word context, and you are here to understand the word context. So there is a situation that we are in the university, we are in the classroom. So this classroom has got a whiteboard, okay, or chairs, desks, dice, All these things are there. They are providing us the physical context. This is the setting where we have gathered together to talk about the word context. Then there is a social context, because we human beings are social animals. We live in the society and we interact with the people. So we gather at a particular place to celebrate something. Let's say if it is a wedding ceremony and we have gathered here, so of course, so that is the celebration of a marriage. And if it is Bharat, if it is Walima, or if it is Tehel Mehndi, we know that what kind of context is there. And according to the situation, we dress up. We know that on Bharat, what kind of dress we are supposed to wear. On Walima, what kind of dress we are supposed to wear. Same is the case if it is a function in the university. We know that what is the context. Are we supposed to be formal or informal? What kind of language we are supposed to speak? For example, we always keep in mind that who is the interactant with us, with whom we are interacting. If they are students, we know that what kind of language we are supposed to speak. If they are my colleagues, I know that what kind of language I should speak. If they are my seniors, I know that how I should behave in front of them and what I can say or what I cannot say. And if they are my junior, I know that what kind of language I can use. So keeping in mind the context, keeping in mind the situation, keeping in mind the topic which is under discussion, we use our language. Then again, of course, we know that what is the culture in which we are interacting, what kind of culture it is. For example, in Pakistan, we know the background of the people, that what are their beliefs, what are their likes and dislikes, okay, and then accordingly we speak the language, accordingly we interact with the people, okay. We do not want to offend anyone, we do not want to hurt anyone, so we always keep in our mind all these things, and then we interact, and the kind of language that we are supposed to use, we use it. So then there is a cultural context. Of course, as I have just talked about a wedding ceremony, which is also one of the religious as well as cultural event. So there are certain things that we keep doing, keeping in mind our religion, like there is a ceremony of nikah, and we know that how nikah has to be performed, who is supposed to be there, how it is to be enacted, how it is to be performed, and accordingly we do it. And then there is culture of Pakistan, and the different kinds of events that we do there. For example, when people they meet, and the kind of gifts that we are giving on marriage ceremony, and different kinds of other events that we do on marriage ceremony, they are cultural events that we are doing because of the culture that we believe in, because of the culture that we follow. For example, in marriage ceremonies we have got the function of Tehel Mehndi. So this Tehel Mehndi function is celebrated because this is what our culture is. It is not coming from the religion, it is coming from the culture. So same is the case. There is another kind of context that we should understand, that is the cognitive context. So sometimes some of the things are explained, some of the things are said, some of the things are done, keeping in mind the kind of cognitive context that we are in. For example, sometimes I walk, or sometimes we are walking, and we come across in the street certain chairs outside a house. So we may feel that maybe somebody has passed away, somebody has gone to another world. So this is what happened once with me. I saw some chairs outside the house and I thought that maybe someone has passed away. So I stopped there, I asked them that is everything all right, and they told me that some kind of marriage ceremony is going on. I could not understand that we can have a marriage ceremony without decorating the house, without the kind of things that we are supposed to see, that we see that people are coming, guests are coming, and the house is decorated, but I did not see these things. So I thought that maybe someone has passed away. But then when they told me that they are celebrating a marriage ceremony, so I was in a different cognitive context, and they conceptualize this event very differently. So they were in a very different cognitive context. So in the end, I would love to summarize again. Today we have talked about the word context. We have talked about linguistic context. We have talked about cultural, socio-cultural context. We have talked about that in socio-cultural context, we have got different kinds of participants, because human beings, they interact. When they interact, they know with whom they are interacting, what they are interacting, what is their relationship with them, and what is the agenda, what is the aims or what are the aims and objectives of that particular topic or topic which is under discussion, and then what kind of relationship you are enjoying with that person, and accordingly you speak. And then we have talked about cognitive context as well as religious context. Thank you very much.